who's ready to talk about business threats? Hi everyone, my name is Olivia, and today I will be going over Porter's 5 forces and using real-world examples on my channel, The Business. Now, to start off, Porter has 5 forces: buyer power, supplier power, threat of substitution, competitive rivalry, and lastly, threat of new entry. Now that we have the forces down, let's talk about them. To start off, I will be using 3 forces as an example, and I will be using Northern Illinois University as the real-world example. I am both a student and an employee, so I think that these forces are very applicable and very real to us. Alright, let's talk about our first force. This is threat of new entrants. Now, this sounds exactly as it is, and for universities, especially locations on campus, this can be very prevalent. Whether we're discussing the university as a whole, where our competitors are fully online universities or students taking a different route than maybe a traditional university. Specifically for me, where I work is the Student Center, and the Student Center is a place where students go to meet other people, actively engage within the university, or even maybe just do homework and chill out. But let's say a coffee shop opened up off campus, or something more trendy opened up on campus. This is another version of a threat of new entrant, because now we have students engaging more on other places rather than where we want them in the center of campus. Now we can find ways to make it more exciting, updating our student center, putting new rooms and new activities in there, but there will always be that threat as businesses are constantly booming and evolving. Next up is bargaining power of buyers. Now in this scenario, buyers are the students, and the students have a lot of influence on where they want to eat, where they want to study, and where they want to hang out with friends. Now in this example, we're going to be specifically talking about the Student Center, and the Student Center, though it has lots of different options, it might only have a few food options, and let's say a student might want McDonald's and doesn't want Qdoba, or maybe just prefers the dining hall. This is a threat because the student is choosing to go away from the Student Center, bringing less foot traffic. In this example, the bottom line is that everyone wants fresher, modern, and something new and comfortable. People want to try new things, and it's not very realistic to update a student center or a building every year or so. So the threat becomes up to the student. They are able to vote with their feet and go where they please because they have alternative versions. So that becomes a threat for the Student Center. However, if people continue to like what the Student Center offers and they're continually rebuilding, remodeling, and trying to upgrade for the students, then that's where we can get somewhere. Finally, for our last force, we will be discussing competitive rivalry, which is exactly what it sounds like. In this case, competitive rivalry is extremely prevalent both on and off campus, with things like the library, having different schools, whether it's the College of Art or the College of Business. There are lots of different options besides the Student Center, which can also drive less foot traffic, and students have the option to go wherever they want. For the university, this is a great problem to have. People love having options and having autonomy over where they want to go. But for the Student Center, when you look at it from that aspect, it does create more competitiveness and makes you think, okay, well, where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Qdoba today, or do I want to go to the dining hall off? Is there an org in the Student Center, or maybe am I more comfortable and just want to go to the library to study? This is when the more competitiveness happens, and when you have all of these options, students have more autonomy of where they want to go, and the traffic depends on what is happening. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you learned more about Porter's 5 forces and how you can even utilize it in maybe where you work or just find a business in practice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.